What's up guys, my name is Ace, and a couple days ago I made a video about Monday's apparent weapon balancing update that didn't actually go through on the multiplayer side of things. However, just yesterday there was a hotfix that fixed this and pushed that update through properly. So this weapon balancing update has gone live now, and there were quite a few changes here. Some of the changes are super minor, like you'll probably never notice a difference, but there are a handful in here that are very notable changes. And let's just dive right into it and start it off with SMGs, and let's start it off with the mini buck. The first thing they did to it is they slightly reduced its maximum damage range, or its 3-shot kill potential. This was quite a small reduction, but there definitely was a reduction there. And then on top of this, within that maximum damage range, they reduced our damage values a little bit, and this is essentially the exact opposite of what they did with the Season 6 update about a month ago. They actually buffed all of these areas a month ago, and now they're nerfing them. But I want to point out that this doesn't fully revert this back to the pre-Season 6 values. Instead, they're actually meeting in the middle here. So the mini buck is still better than it was before Season 6, but just a little bit worse than it's been over the past month when it comes to that 3-shot kill consistency if you start mixing in those limb shots. As for the Vaznev, we just saw a very slight reduction to our maximum damage range from 8.9 meters down to about 8.4 meters. That's hardly noticeable. However, it's also worth noting our second damage range was slightly reduced as well, from 16.3 meters down to about 15.6 meters. Then when it comes to the Lockman Shroud, there were a couple very slight nerfs to our damage ranges here, only to the second and third damage ranges though. Our 3-shot kill potentials are identical compared to pre-patch, so it's just those 4-shot kill ranges that are slightly reduced. You probably will never notice this difference. And similarly, with the ISO 9, we saw a very slight reduction to our 7-shot kill potential from 34.3 meters down to 33.6 meters. Again, you'll likely never notice this. After that, we got the PDSW, and this one saw a bit of a buff to its 6-shot kill potential. It was actually buffed by a noticeable degree compared to the previous ones that we looked at. The Fennec also saw a buff to its 6-shot kill potential, but again, this is one of those really minor ones that you'll never really notice. And then finally for SMGs, with the Bass P, we got a slight improvement to our 5-shot kill potential, and all of the other ranges are identical. So overall, when it comes to SMGs, nothing too major. I don't think this is really going to shake things up at all. Now let's move into the assault rifle category though, and we did see some noticeable changes to the TR-76 Geist. The first thing to point out is our maximum damage range, where we're going to get the most consistent 3-shot kill. This has been reduced by about 1.5 meters, so nothing too major there. However, they also adjusted our damage values with this gun. And overall, by far, this was a net nerf to our damage potential. However, our long shot headshot damage has slightly increased compared to the base, but that doesn't really change anything. The main thing to point out here that you'll actually notice with this gun is in that maximum damage range, we're no longer guaranteed a 3-shot kill. Pre-patch, you could shoot him in the foot 3 times and you would get a kill up close. That's no longer the case. You have to mix at least 1 upper torso shot in there, which I mean is still pretty easy to do, and I'd say more often than not, you're probably still going to be getting a 3-shot kill with this gun up close, but you have to make sure you hit at least 1 upper torso shot and 1 lower torso shot if you want to maintain a 3-shot kill. Additionally, within that second damage range, it's going to be a lot less consistent at getting a 3-shot kill as well. You really have to hit multiple upper torso shots now, whereas previously you just needed to hit 1 upper torso shot in that damage range. So overall, this was definitely a very noticeable and I would say well-deserved nerf to the TR-76 Geist. When they added it to the game, it was clearly overtuned in relation to the other 3-shot kill assault rifles out there. So now it's more in line with what you would expect with a 3-shot kill assault rifle. And speaking of 3-shot kill assault rifles, with the Kastov 762, this one got a very slight buff. They just increased the maximum damage range very slightly up to 30 meters. As for the Kastov 74U, with this one, there was a hardly noticeable adjustment to its 3-shot kill potential. This was increased by less than 1 meter, so really a pointless change to this, but on top of this, they adjusted some of our damage values, and as we can see here, at longer ranges, there were some buffs, and there were also some nerfs to our leg damage. At the end of the day, this only really changes very specific combinations of body multipliers though, and in the vast majority of situations, it's going to take you the exact same number of shots to kill as previously, so you probably will never even notice a difference, despite the fact that they not only touch the range, they also touch the damage profile. After that though, with the TAC-56, they noticeably reduced our maximum damage range, so our 3-shot kill potential, that's been cut down to around 21 meters. Then with the FR Avancer, they slightly improved our 4-shot kill potential, and you'll notice there were some damage adjustments here. It now has a 5-shot kill potential to the body at any range, as long as you're able to hit torso shots. And let's get into this new damage profile. It turns out up close, nothing was changed here, but in our mid damage range, it's now a guaranteed 5-shot kill, whereas previously, if you hit a single limb shot mixed in with torso shots, it would now take you 6 shots to kill. Now it's going to be much more consistent with that 5-shot kill, so that is quite noticeable. And like I said, we now have a potential to get a 5-shot kill at longer ranges. However, again, if you mix a limb shot in, this will make it a 6-shot kill. Generally speaking though, this buff will be quite noticeable when you start stretching the ranges out with the FR Avancer. After that, the M16 saw a little bit of a buff. This is to its maximum damage range. It went from 29.5 meters up to 32 meters. Then we got the M4, which just saw a very slight and probably not even noticeable adjustment to its 4-shot kill potential. This was just slightly increased, and it's kind of a similar story with the Lockman 5.56. Both of its 4-shot kill ranges were very slightly increased. We're talking like a meter or less. So again, you'll probably never actually notice this. And then finally, for the assault rifle category, the Tempest Razorback saw a few buffs. The first one was a very slight improvement to its 4-shot kill potential. However, more importantly, there were some adjustments to the damage values at mid and long ranges. And with this, just like with the FR Avancer, now in that mid damage range, we have a guaranteed 5-shot kill anywhere in the body, whereas previously, if you mixed in too many limb shots, it would increase that to a 6-shot kill. So you should notice a bit more consistency in those mid ranges, but at long ranges, you probably won't notice any change there whatsoever, even though technically the damage values increased slightly. Now, let's move on to the battle rifle category, and we once again saw a bunch of range buffs to most of the battle rifles at least. With the Cronin Squall, you can see our maximum damage range was slightly improved. With the SO14, all of our damage ranges were improved slightly, not just that maximum damage range. And we see a similar story with the Lockman 7.62. Every one of our damage ranges were improved by a little bit. And then finally, with the FTAC Recon, this one just saw an improvement to its maximum damage range. However, it's a noticeable improvement there. It went from 21 meters up to 24.5 meters. And it is worth noting that is our maximum 1-shot kill potential to the head as well, as long as we're using this in semi-auto. Next up, let's get into the shotgun category. And with this, there were several nerfs to the Dragon's Breath ammunition on various shotguns. And unfortunately, I don't have the exact pre-patch values with Dragon's Breath included, as that's just not data that I tend to store. But with the Lockwood 300, you can see if you're using the new dual trigger attachment combined with Dragon's Breath, our 1-shot kill range post-patch is 12.5 meters. So pretty respectable there still, even though they stated that we had a reduced damage range with this. Then with the Bryson 800, when we're using Dragon's Breath, our post-patch 1-shot kill range is 6.5 meters, so very noticeably shorter than the Lockwood 300 with Dragon's Breath and that trigger. And then finally, just focusing on the Dragon's Breath part of this, with the KV Broadside using Dragon's Breath, our 1-shot kill potential is 3.5 meters with this, and I think it's worth mentioning also our 2-shot kill potential with Dragon's Breath is 15 meters after this patch, where they apparently reduced this damage range. Now on top of this for shotguns, there were a couple adjustments that didn't involve Dragon's Breath, so I can show you the before and after. The first adjustment was with the Expedite 12. They actually buffed its 1-shot kill potential as well as its nearly guaranteed 1-shot kill potential, which was interesting because this recently got a buff to make it quite powerful. It was already really solid, but they made it even better. Now our 1-shot kill potential with a perfectly placed shot is going to be 14.5 meters, and we're practically guaranteed a 1-shot kill now within 5 meters, which is very impressive for a semi-auto shotgun. Additionally, with the KV Broadside, we saw a slight improvement to its 1-shot kill potential, although this one isn't nearly as impressive. This went from about 2.8 meters up to 3.9 meters, so a noticeable improvement here, but not nearly as great as with the Expedite 12. After that, let's move into Marksman rifles, and for some reason the EBR caught another nerf. I don't know why they keep nerfing this gun little by little, but with this we just saw a reduction to the damage ranges across the board, and these were noticeable reductions as well. Then with the Tempest Torrent, they've nerfed its maximum damage range from almost 36 meters down to 33 meters, so that is a noticeable adjustment there. That's also worth noting that's our 1-shot headshot potential with that gun. And then, for some reason, the SBR 208 caught another buff. I don't know why they keep buffing these 1-shot kill bolt-action marksman rifles, but they did. Its maximum damage range, where you can get a 1-shot kill anywhere to the upper torso and shoulders, this has now been extended from 37.6 meters up to 40 meters. And that just leaves us with one last gun. This is the RAAL MG. This one caught a little bit of a buff. Its maximum damage range, or 2-shot kill potential, was increased from about 42 meters up to 45 meters. And with that, that's going to wrap it up for all of the weapon balancing that was meant to go live this Monday, but didn't actually go live until yesterday. Overall, I would say a ton of completely unnecessary changes that won't be noticeable at all, and I don't even know why they bothered wasting their time on that. But in saying that, there were some noticeable improvements there. I would say the highlights here are the Expedite 12, the FR Avancer, as well as that nerf to the TR-76 Geist. Those are definitely going to be the most noticeable adjustments throughout this update. And with that, this is where I want to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Now that we have the actual patch with the actual values, what are you guys thinking about this weapon balancing update? Are you generally happy to see these changes, or are there any that you're not happy to see at all? Just let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.